guys, Annette Brandt here for a new episode of the day, and I really hope you enjoy what we're doing today. You know, winter is coming on, or actually it has arrived up here north in South Africa, and so we will start with good old-fashioned bread, a nice warm baked loaf bread. We'll just go with our soup we're going to make for today. Also, we're going to make a pea soup, so you will see that in the next video. So yeah, let's start. I've got 6 cups of whole wheat flour. This is the Eureka Mills wholemeal flour, so I've got 6 cups of that. So we're adding 1 cup of rolled oats, and to that mix we will put a quarter cup of mixed seeds. So you can see I've got linseed and sesame seeds, and at the bottom there's some sunflower seeds. So there's our 3 seeds. You can actually also put in some pumpkin seeds. That will also work well. Into that mix we will add 2 teaspoons of Himalayan salt. I usually put the salt around the edges, and then I will add Blackstrap Molasses, 3 tablespoons. And because it's so cold, it's very very nice and tangy. So we're using the Blackstrap Molasses because it's high in natural sugars that the yeast will actually live off to give you a good rise. So you don't need extra sugar. It's also very high in vitamin B and iron. So it's a good nutritious thing to use. Okay, so to this mix we're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of dry yeast. I just used the instant dry yeast. This is a 10-gram packet. So I'm just adding it in like that. And then about 3 cups of hot water. Now this is fairly hot. I boiled the kettle and then I put about a half cold, and a half of it is boiling water. So that's 3. We're going to start with 3 cups of warm water, and then you just go with your hand like a little concrete mixer, and you see the bubbles. That's what you want to see. So you're already activating the yeast, and then you just keep on doing it. You're getting your nice brown color from the molasses and the seeds and the oats. All of it is getting mixed in. So this you will just keep on doing until it's all well incorporated. It's quite a wet mixture. This is when you want to get rid of your frustrations and you can't go and walk because it's raining outside or it's too cold. So then you can take it out on your bread. Okay, so now just do some kneading. We need to make sure there's none of these white flour. Originally the recipe says that you should use 3 to 4 cups, but I always start with 3 cups because you can always add liquid, but you can't take it out. So I'm going to add a bit of water still. Oops, sorry. So you see that's the consistency you want. It's actually not sticking to the bowl. And I don't know if you can see it, but it makes little strands. It's like it's pulling little strands. Then you know that your yeast is activated. Okay, so by the way, the oven, I put the low oven on 70 degrees, and it's now going to rise in there about 20 minutes to half an hour, depending on the weather also. So when you put it in the pans, you will see this is enough dough for 2 breads. And so I've got our 2 pans sprayed. Okay, so I've now mixed it through, and you will see my 2 oven pans is sprayed. The hot oven, the low oven, like we used to call it in the olden days, the bottom drawer, I put on 70 degrees. And now I'm going to just put the bread in there to rise. This dough is enough for 2 breads, so I'm just wetting my hands so I can just roughly. Some people that's very perfectionistic bakers, they will now go and weigh this to get the same amount, but I'm not that perfectionistic, sorry. So I'm just going to take the bread, make a little long piece of dough, and just place it into the pan. They will rise about half an hour, and then we will put them in the oven at 180 degrees. Just make sure when you are now putting these in the low oven to rise, that you put your oven on so that the oven doesn't have to wait, or the bread doesn't have to wait for the oven to heat up, because if the oven isn't heated up, then the bread will actually fall flat because it's in the rising process and you need to keep it up there. I'm just going to wash my hands, and then I'm just going to put some seeds on top of this before we put them in the oven. So now, just to decorate it on top, you don't have to do it, but I like to do it because it just gives it a bit of a homemade feel. You actually just put some seeds on top there. When you've got children and they will want to help you bake, you can actually tell them you're going to have a little competition, and then you actually give them each the seeds to place their initial on the bread so they know whose bread is whose, and then they will be very interested in helping mommy to bake bread, or even daddy. I know of daddies that bakes bread better than mommies. Okay, so now I just take my spoon and I've wet it in this water that I've used, and it's very important that you actually press the seeds into it. Otherwise, what happens, it just falls off when you've baked them. Sorry, there's a seed with a shell. Otherwise, they just fall off, and then you've wasted all that money, because seeds aren't the cheapest things around. Okay, then you just take your spoon and you just round the top like that. So you see the bread is like nearly 2/3 of the space, I want to say, of the tins. And they will rise all the way to the top, and then we will bake them at 180 degrees for 55 minutes. Hi guys, so actually these ones, it's really cold here today, so these ones has taken 35 minutes to rise to this level, and I'm happy with them now. We're going to take them into the oven at 180 degrees for 55 minutes. Hi guys, I think the bread is ready, so let's take it out of the oven and see if we're successful. So just to make sure, oh, there's a jumping. And you know, this is a sure sign that it's cooked through if it's loose from the sides. Then you're going to take your clean towels, dish towels, and you're going to just take them out and roll them into them. If you don't do this step, your bread will be very hard and you will maybe need a chainsaw to go through it. So just to get the crunch a bit down. Sorry, I don't want to have my fingers burned. So let's just turn it out. And then give it a roll. And let them cool down in the towels. So what you can do, if you're not going to eat all the bread at once, if they cool down, you can actually cut them into slices and freeze them as they are sliced. Then you can just take them out. Ooh, the feel of warm bread, it really does something for your soul. So you can take your bread and freeze them. You can freeze the whole one, or you can freeze them in cut slices, just as you wish. And then you can just take them out the freezer and pop them in the toaster, and you have wonderful, wonderful bread. I hope you enjoy your bread baking. We're still working on our soup, so the recipe will be there and you can enjoy this together with us. Hope you have a great day. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe with the bell, and we'll see you again next time. Have a good day. Bye.